Manya Dattopant Thengadi came to Kerala first time as a Pracharak of the RSS in Kozhikode. I have not met him during that period because I was in Thiruvananthapuram. But I had heard about Dattopantji from very senior workers who were brought up by him as Swayamsevaks. My first acquaintance with him was during the period when he was working in Janasangh, Bharatiya Janasangh, along with Pandit Deendayal Upadhyaya and others. I was also in Janasangh. I had seen him as a thinker, as an orator, and as an ideal worker. Even though he was a leader, he was like an ordinary worker, moving with the workers and guiding them. He never considered himself as a leader. So he could easily interact with the workers, know their feelings and their thoughts, and used to observe their behavior. So he could mold them, their character, their thinking. That way he was very different from many leaders who keep a distance from the workers. His speeches were not just political speeches. They were basically ideological. At the same time, he would communicate in the common man's language. He could inspire them. Not a rabble-rouser, but an intellectual orator who can convey ideas in a very simple language. My acquaintance with him, particularly when he was touring Kerala, we had occasions to live together, not just touch and go. There were shibils in which we stayed together. Dattopant Thengadi, Deendayal Upadhyaya, Jagannatha Joshi, we all lived together. So we would also observe him, how simple, transparent, communicative. So that was the experience living with him. Later on, when I went to Delhi as director of the Indian Research Institute, that was a time when we had very close interaction. Thengadi used to stay in the MP's quarters there at that time. So we had very frequent meetings. And he was my ideological guru and sort of a role model to me. He taught many things without telling, especially how to do samparka. I had a habit of sleeping after meals at noon. Thengadi one day told me, "Come, let us go meet some of our friends." So we started in the morning, went to the house of one of our, I think it was Mr. B.K. Kelkar. He was in Delhi. We went to his house, spent some time there. Then I thought I will be free. Then Thengadi said, "Come on, let us go to another house also." And not like that. And then it was noon. We took food. Then I must take a rest. Thengadi said, "No, we'll go to one more house and then you can work." That day till evening. Not only we went together, he gave me the lesson that too much sleep is not necessary. You can spend your time more usefully. So, during such times, how to move with people, how to talk to different type of people, how to keep intimate relationship with the family people. It was really an informal education of keeping contact with people. So he had a special way of, as you all know, that was one thing. Then during those days there were other friends also, Panipta, Shukla, Devendra Siru. So we all used to meet together and discuss so many things. So that way he gave a lot of input in a very informal and quiet manner. And I left Delhi because I thought that an institution like Bharatiya Vichara Kendra is necessary because ideological conflict was going on and physical conflict also clashed with Marxism. I thought there should be ideological debate, not physical clash. Thengadi very much approved that idea. So, when we had decided to start Bharatiya Vichara Kendra, and the inaugural program took place in Tiruvananthapuram, I had invited Dattopant Thengadi and some other eminent thinkers from this place. And his speech during the inaugural ceremony, that was recorded. And that is our Bible and our Gita even today. We take classes on that in all our study classes and all the platforms. What should be the fundamental principle of an ideological movement like Bharatiya Vichara? It is not about temporary issues, but a fundamental principle. So that is what he gave in that lecture. And then I used to meet him for all important programs. He used to spare time for that. He had a high esteem of the work of Vichara Kendra. And another thing which I saw was that he was always a student. even though he knew so much, any new information, he will note it down. If it is there in some book, if I refer, then he said, you get that book. He will take it down. So like that, continuously he was enriching himself with knowledge, quotations. So this was a continuous process. And very hard working. Once there was a meet near Nagpur. We were all there. The keynote was to be prepared, to be presented next today's conference. So a few workers sat together. Thengadi had already prepared a short note, discussion on that. And then the whole thing was enlarged and done. So that is to be presented next day morning. Discussion went on till 10 o'clock at night. Night, he sat down and got the whole thing typed. And next day morning it was ready. He presented it. We were all sleeping, but he got it ready and presented. That was the type of tireless worker that he was. We all feel that he had a very great soft corner for Kerala. He came to Kerala first and he had many acquaintances, common people, eminent people, thinkers. It's amazing. These contacts were so wide. He had a special corner in his heart for Kerala. Though we used to visit Kerala as a BMS leader, as a Sangha Pradhari many times, the last time he visited, that is very memorable. That was the last time. There was a state level camp of workers in Koilo. Udaya Sudarshanji was there at that time. Thengadi was not well. Physically he was not very well. He came. Then we had arranged for his stay in the house of a worker, a businessman, with all convenience so that he will not be put into trouble. He was taken there. The camp was about 2 kilometers away. He took food, some rest. Then he called me. He said, now let us go to the camp. I said, your program is only in the evening. You have to stay here. Then, Namaskar. Then he said, see, I have come to attend the camp. It is not proper that I stay here. I must stay along with the same sex. He was not well. But we had to take him. And there was not sufficient arrangement for all people there. So, Adhikaris were there, a few courts were there. He stayed there. Whether he slept or not, we do not know. He was not well. Next day, he gave a Bhakti word. Probably he knew that that was his last Bhakti word. It was so inspiring. So he spoke for more than 1 hour. This is an unforgettable experience. for all of us. Nobody expected that you would come and stay in the camp with all the inconvenience of the camp. You stayed there. That was only his last visit. Before that, he used to come for treatment, occasionally calibrate and this Ayurvedic treatment. Once I was staying with him for the whole treatment. That was an experience, living in a house, how he became a member of that house. So that way, ideologically he was my guru. Practically, he was the role model. Though it is not easy to follow that model. Uncompromising idealism, at the same time, coming to the level of the ordinary worker. So, these are some of my experiences with him. Probably I can go on talking, but this, in short, more. In a way, the ideology did not get time to elaborate the ideology. There, Thengadi had put in additional material on the various ideological front. His various books, they are in a way an elaboration of the principles of integral humanism, which the ideology could not, unfortunately, could not elaborate. For example, economic policy. What should be the economic policy? Thengadi has tried to elaborate it in many of his books. Like that, his contribution to the philosophy of integral humanism in its different aspects, that is one important thing. You do not exactly say that this is integral humanism, but the practical and philosophical aspects. Thengadi was both a practical person and a philosopher also. You could rise to the height of a philosopher and come down to the level of a worker. That was this a rare combination of idealism and practicalism. That is there in Thengadi. Some are the idealists, some are the practical. That was the reason why he could build up BMS. In a field which was vacuum, he filled that vacuum. So that is probably his. That was not a difficult, easy field. To speak ideology is easy. To put it in concrete terms and to build up a labor movement on that basis. To build up an intellectual movement is not difficult. A labor movement. And the foundation which he laid was so firm that even after him, the movement is doing good. It has not come down. It was not dependent on him. Once I attended a camp, EMS camp. It was dining time, taking food. Important people were sitting. Thengadi was not there. Then I looked for him. He was sitting among the common workers and taking food. Invited guests, motivated was sitting on food. And another thing which I saw about him is individual intimacy which he kept. He will take a worker, walk with him, and while walking, he will be talking so many things, knowing so many things from him. So these are with individuals, and most of the time walking. That I have seen. Total commitment. Did not spare anything for himself, time or anything. Once he invited me, I don't know why, to inaugurate the BMS session in Nagpur. I was not qualified for that. So he thought that I should be invited. Probably because of the ideological, my inclination towards ideology, he sort of that he gave me all sorts of encouragement every time. That has helped a lot.
As a Bhasyakara, Parampuja Guruji's thoughts as a Bhasyakara, Dattopant's role. Parampuja Guruji's thoughts as a Dattopant's role as a Bhasyakara, how you can simply open. Guruji's thoughts, Bhasyakara of Guruji's thoughts.
No, I didn't follow.
Parampuja Guruji's thoughts. He is a Bhasyakara of Parampuja Guruji's thoughts.
Yes,
Dattopantji was a Bhasyakara of Parampuja Guruji's thoughts.
What is that word?
Bhasyak. गुरुजी के विचारों को सरल करके बताने का जो काम हुआ उनका.
No, actually I feel these three people, Sri Guruji, Thengadi and Dattopant Thengadi. It was their collective effort that this philosophy evolved. Guruji was inspiration, and at the spiritual level, he gave them broad framework. They must have sat together and discussed. There's no doubt about it. Thengadi was a thinker, scholar also. That's really wrote. He had made a study of the world movements also. And then Thengadi was also a known thinker, intellectual. And he also used to collect material. So these three people collectively shaped the philosophy of Indian humanism. It is not one man's contribution. According to me, it is these three people contributed. But it may be under religious guidance these two people worked. That is how it has evolved. Guruji also has spoken on humanism, Purna Manav, that concept as well. And Thengadi used to say it is not an ism. Thengadi used to say every ism will become a wasam. Is becomes was. No ism can survive for all time. So this is darshan. Ekatma Manava darshan. So let us know. So according to me, it's a collective evolution of an ideology for not only for the political field but for our field. Tend to be elaborated in the labor field, especially buses.